I left Europe, China, and moved to Dubai, the most open Muslim city in the world. People who come here grow their money faster than Europe. In order to save $20,000 in Italy, you might need 20 years. Instead, here in Dubai, you just need 1 year. But it's not just about the money. It's about the lifestyle, the opportunities, and of course, it's about the freedom that you're not going to find anywhere else. In this video, I will tell you why I came to Dubai, what I'm doing here, and what are my plans for the future. And trust me, it's nothing like what you have imagined. I'm not going to tell you my whole story, but basically 2 years ago, after I graduated university in China, I left China and I went to Europe. So I decided to go to Budapest because, of course, you guys know that I come from Italy and that Italy is not good when it comes to its economy. At the same time, I didn't really want to go to Germany because there the weather is very bad. It's like always gray, pretty much like London, basically. So I went to Budapest and at the beginning was fine, but then when winter hit, it was very cold and I was going by walk every single day at work. So I would freeze myself for 10 minutes in the morning, then for lunch again, because I would go back home, cook myself, and then I would go back again. So I would freeze myself 4 times in a day in the cold. And the job was actually quite good. I was working for a Chinese company, which is Huawei. I'm sure that you guys know the brand of the phones and laptops. They were paying me good money, but still there were taxes. At the same time, I understood that Budapest was not a city where I would find myself like forever, living like for many years. So I was like, I have to change. I want to go somewhere warmer. And we were discussing with my mom. I was telling her, like, if I have to choose a place in Europe which is warmer, it's going to be either Italy, Greece, or Spain. And Greece and Spain, they're pretty much like Italy. Their economy is not good. So I was like, I would love to go to Dubai, but I don't know how. Because let me tell you that if you want to go to Dubai, you have to have experience in Dubai. Yes, it sounds very stupid, but many companies, they tell you no, because you have to have experience in Dubai. So what I did instead, at the time I was working for Huawei in Budapest. So I was like, what if I go to Huawei but in Dubai? Because as you might know, Huawei is basically all over the world. It has like almost in any country, it has offices. So what I did, I went to LinkedIn, I found the HR from Huawei Dubai. I contacted her, I was like, listen, do you have any roles open? Because I would love to come there. She was like, okay, but why do you want to change offices? I was like, well, because here it's too much cold. And she was like, girl, here it's going to be too much hot. And I was like, it's okay, it's fine. I'm Sicilian, I come from the south of Italy. I am pretty much used to hot weather. So I took the job at Huawei Dubai and I was super excited because I didn't want to stay too much far away from home. Because Dubai is in the Middle East, so of course it's only like 5 hours away from Italy. Instead, China is like 18 hours away from Italy. After I got to Dubai, I understood how crazy the market was for real estate. Here, people, like almost everybody, sells houses. So after 3 months of me in Huawei Dubai, I was like, I have to go into real estate. So now, if you ask me what's your job, Alessia, is to sell houses of $600,000 here in Dubai. And of course, the fact that I speak Chinese, it helps me so much finding jobs that people are constantly like from other companies here in Dubai, they're constantly like sending me messages like, oh, we're looking for a Chinese speaker, we're looking for an Italian native speaker, la la la. So it was like quite a big change, I have to say, because before I was in marketing. Of course, like marketing and sales, they go hand in hand. And so far so good. I've done real estate since October 2024. Right now we are in September 2025, so it's almost been 1 year, and so far so good. I love it. Imagine here people from all over the world come, they buy a house because they know how good it is to invest in real estate here, because there are no taxes for the houses. And of course, like people who want to park their money, they will just, buy a house and maybe they will sell it like 3 years later, 5 years down the line. And of course, after they sell, they make good money. But now, enough talking about real estate, let's talk about Dubai. As I was telling you before, people come here and they can actually save. I'm not actually talking about making, I'm talking about saving $20,000 in just 1 year. Instead, if you work in Europe, or like let's say especially like in Italy, you need like 20 years in order to save $20,000. People who come to Dubai, they are not lazy people. They are people with an entrepreneurial mindset. They want to grow. They're here to network. They're here to make money. They're here to actually hustle. And of course, staying with like-minded people makes you think bigger. I would say that back when I was in Budapest, I was missing this from people, because people in Budapest, they are pretty much like closed. They don't want to talk to you. They're very cold. They're not going to entertain you. And of course, one of the reasons why they're like this is because I did not study Hungarian. I did not learn their language. So they are right from one side. But at the same time, I've seen my colleagues at Huawei in Budapest like doing their job for 20 years, making no money, making even less salary than me, because they started 20 years ago and their salary was almost the same as when they started 20 years ago. So of course, like if you stay in such an environment, you're going to feel like old, you're going to feel a little bit depressed, tired, you're not going to have any kind of motivation. Instead, if you come to Dubai, people here are pretty much warm. They like to talk with you. Even if they are like billionaire or millionaire, they are still going to entertain you, they are still going to talk with you, they are going to be very friendly, and they are going to invite you for coffee. When we talk about safety, I must say that Budapest was pretty much safe as a city, but Dubai is actually even more safe. In fact, people here, they don't lock their houses. By the way, I still do that because I still hear people complaining about agents who actually enter your house and they just take photos and stuff. So I don't want all that drama. That is why I still lock my door. But most of the people here, they don't lock their doors. And of course, there is also this openness in the lifestyle, because let's say I am Italian and I wear like this in a Muslim country, is totally fine. Of course, there are so many girls who cover themselves that you can see only the eyes of these girls, but there are girls who are like very, like they wear like very short dresses and everything is fine here. People come from all over the world, so there is this openness. People understand each other, they don't judge each other. As you can imagine, there is a balance of modern skyscrapers, and at the same time there are mosques, there is temple, there are churches, there is luxury everywhere, which is not always good, because girls, they all look the same. They all have their Chanel bag, or maybe they all have their Hermes bag, or maybe they all do plastic surgeries. They have very big lips, and this is because of course they have got the money to do all of this. As I was telling you guys before, there is no racism, but there is one kind of racism which is a little bit different. Basically, if you are a Filipino or Indian woman, they are going to pay you much less than a white woman. So there is this kind of racism. Like, you're not going to see racism between me and another woman or another man from another country, but companies are racist in this case. So, maybe for me, being an Italian, being white, it's like very easy to make money and everything, but it might not be the same for an Indian woman or, somebody who comes from Asia. If you ask me, Alessia, what kind of challenges do you have in Dubai? Well, I would say the high costs of rent, for example, because even though you make money, like taking like $1,500 every single month and spending it on rent, it's still challenging. Like even though you have those money, like taking those money and throwing them around, like it's like putting them in the garbage, you know? It's like still a very big amount which your heart is still crying for. So I came to Dubai for the first time 2 years ago because I came here just for a trip, and it was actually pretty good that I decided to come here to live later, like for long term. And I will tell you something, like before going anywhere, like to live anywhere, I just go there first once, I just see how it is, and then I decide like whether I like it or not. And I truly believe that you should do the same. Come here to Dubai. I just came, for 3 days. I took this vacation. I thought it was amazing, and then I came here to live because it's still a Muslim country. So I was like, how is it going to be? If you go to Saudi Arabia right now, you still have to cover yourself as a woman. So for me, it's very important that I have to be safe, that I have to feel free to do whatever I want. Of course, like I'm going to behave well, I swear. So now let me talk about the plans for the future. First of all, I have a very big project, which is my YouTube channel, because to be honest, like as you can see right now, it's not very bright because it's like 6 p.m. But still, I am making this video because I want to bring you guys content. So my first project for this year is to actually monetize YouTube. I want to make money from YouTube because I think it's very, like good to share with people my experience living in China, my experience, speaking Chinese, my experience living in Dubai. So this is one of the things that I want to monetize. I want to be able to either have a side hustle, or if I can grow it even actually like very big, of course, it can also become my full-time job, hopefully, inshallah. Instead, when it comes to long term, I guess I will stay a few years here in Dubai, and this is because I've got no choice. To be honest, in Italy there is nothing for me, like literally nothing. I could earn very low salary, and then I would have nothing at the end of the year. Like nothing would be my pockets. So for me, of course, like I will stay here. I will try to grow even more in real estate. Of course, like Dubai doesn't feel like something permanent because at the same time, I have my parents back in Italy and I miss them so much. I'm telling you, like, if you go abroad for 1 year, you're going to feel pretty much fine. But after you live abroad since years and years, you're going to feel like it should be time to go back home. I've lived abroad for 5 years, and now I'm already like, I miss them so much. I understand that I'm missing so many moments with them. So I cannot say that I'm going to stay here forever, of course, because this is not my home, my real home. But I pretty much enjoy my life here. So now I'm going to give you some pieces of advice for you in case you want to move to Dubai. First of all, you should do your own research. Try to understand the cost of living, the culture, and also the laws, because many things are forbidden here. For example, kissing in public, which is something okay in Italy, it's forbidden here and you could get a fine for that. So before coming here, research well. Another thing that I have to tell you is that you should be adaptable, because after you come here, you will see how hot it is, especially like during summer. During winter time is fine, but apart from the hot weather, you're going to work a lot. Like companies, they want you to hustle so much, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever. So you have to come here with this mindset that you're going to work and that you're going to make a lot of money, and you should not think that you're going to be here and enjoy the lifestyle. Yes, of course, you're going to enjoy the lifestyle after you hustle for a little bit. So yes, this is my take on Dubai. Now you have to watch this video here if you want to know how I learned Chinese in only 8 months, 8 years ago, and I will see you there. Bye bye!